going on, everyone? So the Indiana Pacers started this season just guns blazing, right? And so far, they are starting to come back to earth a little bit. They are hovering around 500, going back and forth with wins and losses, going a couple game win streak, going a couple game losing streak. Problem is that they have by far the most high-powered offense so far this season. Obviously, that could change as we progress, but they've been like historically good offensively, but they've also been historically bad defensively. They are solely, we outscore you, we win. We don't outscore you, we're not going to be able to get the stops to win, right? And that's a problem, right? Especially for the longevity of a season. And we've seen lots of teams start off very well and then kind of fall apart and fall off towards the end, right? Indiana even was a team that was in the mix for a playoff spot and then ended up missing entirely, right? You look at a team like the Utah Jazz last year, similar things. I mean, they were the 1 seed at one point, ended up missing the playoffs. The Pelicans, right? They were a 1 seed last season, ended up losing in the first round of the play-in. All of those things are a common anomaly when you're talking the NBA season. There's always like a couple teams that start off really well and then kind of come back into reality. But if the Indiana Pacers continue to play poorly, obviously there's a real question of, do the Pacers start looking to unload some guys? So Buddy Hield is already on the trade block. They were looking to try to move him this past offseason, but teams were not really willing to give up a bunch for him because it was kind of like just randomly. They weren't able to work on a new deal with Buddy Hield. So they were like, okay, well, we need to trade him. We don't want to lose him for nothing. So as we move closer to the trade deadline, they'll definitely look to trade for Buddy Hield. However, his contract, him being a free agent, right? Like, he's basically a one-dimensional specialist, right? So how many, I mean, every team could use a guy like Buddy Hield, but how many teams are looking at him as like he's the missing piece that's worth a gamble on, that we're gonna match, $18 million in salary? That becomes a bit of a problem. So the Pacers may have their work cut out for them to trade for Buddy Hield. Now, Myles Turner, on the other hand, this is a guy that could be very interesting, but again, limited market. How many teams need a starting center? Most of the good teams already have a starting center. Most of the good teams already have their guy. So the market, I think, would be very limited for a Myles Turner. Now, they don't have to trade Myles Turner this season if they start crumbling. They have him under contract for next season, but you got to imagine that Myles Turner, he was already ready to depart. The only reason he re-signed that 2-year deal was because they basically gave him a ton of money that he probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So it's kind of like, hey, you do us a favor, we'll do you a favor, and we'll kind of backload your contract a little bit, which he got, and then kind of have that continue as we move forward, right? But after next season, he's a free agent, right? So next season, he's going into his new contract year. And the Los Angeles Lakers literally had Buddy Hield and Myles Turner done deal, ready to go. Just file the paperwork. And then Jeannie Buss vetoed the trade, and we didn't end up getting Buddy Hield and Myles Turner. And they were heavily speculated all season, right? And it was in the Russell Westbrook trade. The Lakers were going to trade 2 firsts and Russell Westbrook to get Buddy Hield and Myles Turner. There's a lot of questions about that what if, right? If the Lakers had Buddy Hield and Myles Turner over like Vando, D'Lo, and Malik Beasley, would they have won the NBA championship, right? They still could have traded for Rui Hachimura, but would they have won the NBA championship with Myles Turner and Buddy Hield? It's a real question. Now, I wasn't like super huge on Buddy Hield and Myles Turner. I definitely think that they could have been better, and I do think that there was an argument, but I think the Lakers needed a lot more than just Buddy Hield and Myles Turner last season. However, this year, with this current roster, I think if the Lakers were able to land Buddy Hield and Myles Turner, the Lakers are the best team in the league. Because literally it solves 2 of their biggest issues, which is more interior defense besides Anthony Davis, a sizable center, helping rebounding, and both guys can shoot threes. One of them is a 3-point specialist. If the Lakers could get these two guys now, I do. I think it would completely change the Lakers dynamic. And you'd still have Jared Vanderbilt. Oh, my God. Could you imagine a starting five of like, because you're probably trading D'Lo. I would probably put LeBron at point or have LeBron run the point and go like Buddy Hield, Cam Reddish, Jared Vanderbilt, Myles Turner, and Anthony Davis, right? Have a lineup of that out there. I mean, that'd be pretty interesting and kind of mix and match. Or, well, you'd have to have LeBron out there. So scratch that, right? Uh, go LeBron, Vando, Buddy Hield, Anthony Davis, and Myles Turner, right? And then for defensive lineups, then you could do the thing that I mentioned, right? But regardless, like you could do all kinds of like different mix and match lineups, and I think would just be a lot of fun. Right? Myles Turner has been very solid this year. I mean, there are concerns about like his injury history, although he has been better as of late. But so far this season, talking about a guy, he's shooting 36% from three, shooting 80% from the free throw line. He's giving you 8 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 2.2 blocks, a steal, we'll round it up, a steal, 17 points per game. He's shooting 51.3% from the field. But having a very good season. Very good season. I would love to just trade for Myles Turner, right? But chances are, though, if you're going to trade for Myles Turner, then you're probably going to have to take Buddy Hield too. They'll probably try to unload Buddy Hield to you anyway. And Buddy Hield is that guy that's like, it just seems like he's destined to be a Laker since the Lakers have traded for him like 3 times and just hasn't gone through. But even Buddy Hield, I think, would be great. Right? He's shooting 42% from 3 on 7.5 attempts per game. He's getting 11 field goals per game, shooting 46.3% from the field. But again, I mean, 75% of his attempts are from 3-point range. He's averaging 14 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Again, we'll round up, be nice. So, look, I think both of these guys would impact the Lakers tremendously. The question would come down to, would the Indiana Pacers be willing to trade these two guys? A lot of it comes down to the Pacers continuing to be bad, right? If the Pacers start to slip and fall, because right now they're still in the mix, right? They're still in that conversation. But as we move closer to the trade deadline, because nothing's going to happen until the trade deadline anyway, if they're fighting for a play-in, do the Pacers just say, you know what? Let's just trade some guys. Let's unload Myles Turner. We're probably going to have to do it anyway. Let's unload Buddy Hield, right? We can unload them both to the Lakers. Maybe get a Rui Hachimura. Get some young guys to add to the Lakers roster or to add to the Pacers roster. Maybe get a Max Christie, things like that. Like, do they look at it and go, hey, let's go get a first, let's go get a pick swap, get 1 or 2 of their young guys, get a Rui Hachimura, probably take on D'Lo and stuff, and then, kind of head towards the bottom rather than fighting towards the top. And from the Lakers standpoint, I mean, again, if the Lakers could get Buddy Hield, or even just Myles Turner, would be massive. In a perfect world, the Lakers go and figure out how to get Buddy Hield or figure out how to get DeMar DeRozan and Myles Turner. That, to me, would be chef kiss. Man, if they could do that, then there's no reason the Lakers don't win the NBA championship. But in all seriousness, right? Like, I definitely think these two guys would have a resounding impact for the Lakers. And look, both of these guys make sense for the long term too. Right? Buddy Hield's still young enough to where he could be very impactful for the next handful of seasons. You can give him a new contract, and he could still be very good for you over the years. Myles Turner, he's still young enough to where now you have him and Anthony Davis as your front court. You're talking about the best front court in the league, right? On both guys can stretch the floor. Both guys are elite shot blockers. Both guys can play D. Like, good luck scoring inside on those two guys, right? Like. And I know some people are going to listen to this and go, man, like, here we go, bringing up the Indiana Pacer trade again. Like, Buddy Hield and Myles Turner, they can't go anywhere. But seriously, like, Buddy Hield, we know for a fact, is available. We know that Indiana really wants to trade him because they want to get something for him. So we know that's an option. Myles Turner, they're going to have to very likely trade him at some point, right? Like the only reason Myles Turner is still a Pacer is because they paid him so much money, right? They retroed his that year last year and then gave him 2 more years with the upgraded pay, like because they needed to kind of fill in salary. So Myles Turner just kind of benefited from a situation, right? So other than that, he's probably gone. And he's not going to want to go to like any team. He's going to want to go to a contender. We know he wanted to go to the Lakers. I mean, he had that like interview thing where he was like, if I'm the Lakers, I would trade for me. Like, so I don't know. The way I look at it is like Myles Turner makes a lot of sense for the Lakers. The Lakers make a lot of sense for Myles Turner. If you can get a Buddy Hield as well, good luck beating the Lakers. But anyway, as always, this is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? How do you feel? Again, you got to kind of, if you're rooting for this to happen, then you really need to root for the Pacers to continue to go downhill. If they're in the mix, then they're going to try to make a push for it. I mean, they still might trade Buddy Hield, but they'll keep Myles Turner until the offseason. We need them to be really bad, and then the Lakers try to make an offer for him. But again, I feel whatever your thoughts are. I'd love to hear it. Let me know down in the comments below. That being said, if you haven't liked this video, hit that like button. It helps me out a lot. Lets me know you enjoy these types of videos, and I truly appreciate it. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notifications. Appreciate y'all. See you in the next one. Thank you.